So good morning on this December 26th. Okay, now I am recording this on December 25th, which is why I'm still wearing my Christmas shirt and I'm still wearing my Christmas earrings, which I never get to wear. So I'm going to share them with you because, truth be told, I am recording this on Christmas Day. And what I wanted to do, instead of a full service, which we are not doing today, we're going to have this short talk, and then I certainly invite all of you who are listening, if you wish, to join on the Zoom fellowship afterwards. But I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts for closing out 2021 and welcoming 2022. I just wanted to spend a few minutes with you on this Sunday morning, saying hi, saying thank you, and just sharing my thoughts for moving forward and what this past year has meant to me. One of the resources that I have used a lot in a great many of my talks is Father Richard Rohr. And as I was thinking about what to say today, one of his books that I read a while back came to me. It was his book, Falling Upward. And I think the second part of that title is A Spirituality for the Second Half of Life. And what he talks about is spiritual progression, spiritual growth. And that's what we're all about here. We are about awakening, about moving on, even though it's never an easy climb. It's kind of, you go up and then you go back and then you go up and then you go back. But that's just part of being human. That's just the dance. But what we are trying to do is continue our spiritual unfolding, our growing wisdom, if you will. And so what he talked about in that book, I found just a very useful construct, and I wanted to share it with you and share my thoughts on it with you. In the first part of our lives, we're just starting out, and we have more of an emphasis on who is right. We are building the I, the S with the small self. And so what we are doing is we are wondering, do people notice me? Am I doing well? Am I popular? Am I doing this right? Am I following the rules? Am I getting all the toys? What do I need to do to make my mark in the world? What do I need to do to advance my small s self? On the religious side of that, what we are doing in the first half of life is we are learning the structures. We are learning the rules and the rituals and the traditions. We are learning the scaffolding of whatever our religious tradition is. We may not have the deep wisdom to know really what a great deal of the substance means or might mean, but we are building that structure which helps us later. So a great many people remain throughout their lives in the first half of life. Richard Rohr says that he knows many, it's not a chronological thing. He says he knows many young people who have old souls, who are wise beyond their years. And at the same time, he knows many older people who are still in that first half of life thinking, what is mine? How do I shine? How do I get all the marbles? How do I get all the fame? How do I get people to focus on me? What happens as we grow and as we deepen in wisdom is we move away from that small s self, and we learn that the touchstone of our second half of life is compassion. Instead of winning, it's compassion. It's realizing that we are all one, that we are all connected, and not realizing it on a cognitive level as I think, oh, we are all one. It's realizing it and feeling it and knowing it on a heart level. So part of our journey into the second half of life is not more information. I mean, look at all these books behind me. I could read every darn word, and just between you and me, because I know it's just between you and me at this point, I haven't read them. I haven't read every darn word of all of them. They're resources. I certainly treasure a great many of them, but I could read every word, and if I just kept it at that, I would not be any wiser. I would not be any deeper. I would certainly be better informed, but that's not where the work is. The work of the second half of life is in our hearts. It is deepening our hearts to build compassion, to build that knowing that we are one, and that knowing impacts every aspect of our lives. It impacts how we regard an argument with a loved one, how we step back from the feeling that we need to win, how we move forward in our relationships, whether they be close relationships or not. On a larger level, it affects how we treat our planet, how we treat our resources, how we look at issues like climate change, how we look at social issues like injustice, like equity, like all those issues that we see on the front page today. An open heart, a compassionate heart, changes how we see all those issues, how we connect with each other. So one of my thoughts that was just pressing on me today was how we make that journey from the first stage of life, the first half of life, into a deeper and a more profound connection with the heart of compassion. And I think the way we do it, and I talk about this so much, you're probably going to want to turn this off at this point, but the only way I can think of to do it is a daily practice that helps us rest in our hearts. We cannot think ourselves into a more loving world. And the older I get, the more I really think that, the more I really feel that. We cannot think ourselves into greater justice, into greater compassion, into greater connection. That is a heart job. And our daily practice, the purpose of that is to clear that channel, to just clear out all the scale and all the junk and all the stuff we have piled on in that channel between our minds and our hearts. They have to work together. We can't be 100% heart-based. We can't be 100% mind-based. We have to find a way for them to work together and complement each other. That is the point of a daily practice. When people ask me, why should I take time meditating? Why should I take time sitting in the silence? It has many health benefits. It certainly expands your consciousness. But the other thing that it does, I believe, is that it opens your heart. And it certainly helps you to know. And I was going to say understand, but that's not the word I want to use. It helps you to know that we are all connected, that every face we see is the face of the divine, whether we see it in a friend, a beloved, a total stranger, or in the mirror. That is an amazing notion. And finding that truth is one of my goals in my journey individually and in my journey with you next year. Our mission here at One World is to help the non-traditional seeker find the sacred. And that mission, it really animates everything that I do. But I believe that compassion is at the heart of it, and remaining the heart-centered community that we are is going to help us awaken to that, individually and in community. The other thing Rohr says that I find wonderfully wise about the second half of life, when he talks about our religious structure, and this is also so pertinent to us here at One World, in the first half of our lives, when we are learning the structure and the ritual and the rules and the liturgy, as we are building the scaffolding for our later unfolding, it remains important in our second half because we use it to soar. We use that structure not to bind us, but to ground us. As we fashion our own individual spiritual journeys, we can take from the different faith traditions what works for us, but we also realize that I think the image he uses is, or maybe it wasn't Richard Rohr. I think it might have been, oh, I know who it was. It was Kamal Caruso. He was using this image once in a talk that he gave. And he said, when he was talking about religious practices, he said, our religion is, the truth is like a diamond. And the diamond shines more truly in a setting. You can take a diamond and hold it and it's beautiful, but then you can put it in a ring or a necklace or whatever, and it shines the more beautifully because of the beautiful setting it is in. And sometimes our religious practices are like that. And sometimes our spiritual journey is like that. To not avoid or not be afraid of liturgy or ritual, as long as we approach it with meaning and intention and profound reverence. It can provide a setting for those truths that help us realize what is being said and what is being shared. So I've kind of been all over the place here, and I apologize for that. I just really wanted to share with you some of my thoughts as I leave 2021 and as we move into 2022. I really look forward to our continued journey. We may have some more of these informal talks like this. I hope the next one is perhaps a bit more organized. But I really think and I believe that we are going to be able to do a wonderful job of uncovering truths together, of sharing and of growing and of laughing and celebrating and being joyful as we move through 2022, as we continue to share the wisdom of the world's faith traditions, whether we do it in settings like this, or whether we do it in Zoom calls, or whether we do it in person. So as I close, I really want to thank you for accompanying me, accompanying us on this journey through 2021. I so look forward to the next few months, to the next year, to see what will unfold and what will happen. We are having our White Stone ceremony on January 9th. Right now, we are planning to have it in person and online. I will let you know if that changes. I know this COVID Omicron is just cutting swaths all over the place. So there's a possibility that may change, but keep posted on our website and our newsletter, and we'll keep you up to speed on that. So I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. I hope you had a great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. And I hope you just took the time to be with family and friends and those you love. So God bless. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.